Welcome to the Core Women Podcast, the place for women entrepreneurs, authors, and self-starters looking to build community and gain valuable insights through expert interviews with women at the top of their game. Join your host, podcaster, producer, expert coach, entrepreneur, and author, Dr. Summer Watson, as she aims to inspire and empower you through these candid conversations. Lean in and embrace the journey. It's time to start the show. Here's your host, Dr. Summer Watson.
Welcome back to the Core Women Podcast. Today, I'm joined by Ahuva Gruen, a seasoned fractional CFO from New Jersey who brings over 20 years of financial leadership to entrepreneurs seeking clarity and growth. From selling candy as a kid to climbing the corporate ladder and becoming a powerhouse CFO, Ahuva's story is one of grit, reinvention, and financial empowerment. After 2 decades in corporate finance and a leap of faith during the pandemic, she now helps businesses unlock their full financial potential, all while raising her family and living on her terms. Let's dive into this and your journey. Welcome, Ahuva.
Thank you, Summer, for having me on the show. I'm so excited and looking forward.
Oh, great. I'm excited to have you here and hear more about your journey. But before we jump into your professional aspects of your life, if you could describe your journey in one word to this point, what would that word be and why?
Never giving up, doing the next right step.
So never giving up and doing the next right step. Tell us more about that. Why is that important? Or how did you learn that?
How I learned that is, I'll give you one example. When I was taking my CPA and it was torturous, I was a young mother. I had 4 young children working, and I wanted to give up. I wanted to give up and just throw my hands up. I'll have my accounting degree. And my father said, you start, you finish. You could do it. I was raised with my grandmother. Nothing was stopping her. When she needed to do something, she was a widow most of her life. She was fearless. Whatever she needed to do, she went and she did it. And that's what I was ingrained in. My mother had a business in the home. She had a beauty parlor. I was a young child and go and watch her work and learn the business. And so between my mother, who had a business, who was honest, who was reliable, who was talented, who was a businesswoman, my father, who was strong, believed in me, and like you start, you finish was something of really big value for him. And my grandmother was also independent, fearless, determined, assertive. So that's what really helped me when things get tough to just keep going and not just give it up.
Yeah, it sounds like you had some amazing mentors.
And when people say, no, you're a woman, or no one's going to hire you, or just go get another CFO job, I'm like, no, this is my passion. In COVID, I said, this is my passion. This is what I want. It's not easy starting a business when you have a family to support. But I'm like, no, I am following my dreams. I am following my dreams. I'm following my passion. I'm doing the next right step.
Thank you for sharing that, Ahuva. You've had a unique journey from starting out as a budding entrepreneur, as a kid selling candy, to becoming a CFO.
Even beforehand, when I was 5, I convinced my kindergarten teacher to come to my mother's beauty parlor to do her hair. Not that my mother set me up for it, but I felt her hair would look the best if she came to my mother's beauty parlor. By 10, yeah, I had my first candy business. It grew till my principal told me, you better stop or I'm going to kick you out, because mothers were complaining. So I moved it to the neighborhood, to summer camp, to where we would go upstate in the summer. And then 5th, 6th, 7th grade, 8th grade in high school, I was already cutting people's hair. I had that business. So it was natural for me when I graduated to go into a business-related field, to go into accounting. And then I was CFO of a large company.
You really did have a love for business from a very early age, and you had some good models. You had some strong people in your family that really helped guide you in principle,
Yeah,
in your values, being honest, being clear, being authentic,
yeah.
taking initiative, doing all these different things.
And my siblings did it too. I had one brother who bookbinded. I had a brother who was also selling candy. And when I see my kids trying to do business stuff, and I'm like, wait, you're still young. And I'm like, I was the same way. So what do I expect?
Yeah, exactly. I remember my grandparents had a plum tree in the back of their yard, and they were the best fresh plums. And I used to pick them, and I used to go door to door selling them.
So you were the same.
Yeah, I did want to make some money, right? To be honest, I wanted to make some money, go down to the corner store and be able to buy what I wanted to buy. So there was a goal. So you've had this business journey from starting out as this young child who really wanted to develop something of their own into the CFO. So after 2 decades in the corporate world, what pushed you to take the leap during COVID and launch your own practice?
Well, there was numerous reasons. I left my company in COVID. I remember it was around in the summer of 2020, and I was by my sister's pool, and I said, like, I'm really not in the mood of taking another CFO job. In COVID, a lot of the time was working from home, like most of the world, and I have a few kids. I was over 40, and I was like, I had this passion of helping businesses because I have to say, while I was a CFO for my company, I ended up helping family, friends, neighbors with their businesses. And I saw a trend that I cannot stand. They are good at what they do, what services they provided, or what they sold, but they weren't good at running their financials. And it really affects the bottom line. I couldn't stand it. So I decided, a friend gave the idea to become a fractional CFO. And I had all the naysayers, no, go to something more stable, get another CFO job, or it's going to take so much time to build up, and all these messages. But by my sister's pool, she says, Ahuva, it's now or never. If you want to open your own business, do it now. If you're going to take another CFO job, you're never going to do it. So I said, I'm going to follow my passion, and it made sense for me where I was with my experience with being a mother, being middle aged. It just made sense, and I decided it's now, and I jumped in.
Yeah. Well, that's a big decision. I know that in your bio, you also mentioned that going through a divorce shaped your personal values and professional drive. Did that help support that push to do this, to do something different, to really start something of your own?
No, but it took more guts, I will tell you, as a divorced single mother to start my own business. But at the same time, when you have your own business, you have flexibility. You can make your own schedule. You can make much more money. I was used to being independent. I want to have my own business. So that was part of the reason why pushing me to have my own business, to be my own boss, is that I was divorced.
And it also sounds like it gave you the opportunity to make your own schedule, to flex that schedule, to be there
Yeah.
for your family the way that you wanted to be there for your family, and to shape something that was meaningful to you, that you were passionate about.
Right. Also, COVID did that to me because when I was in corporate, I never dreamed of working from home. I always helped. It was more of a hobby to help the family and friends, but I never dreamed of like working from home. The working from home part that came along with having my own business. But in COVID, when everyone's working from home and you have more flexibility, I'm like, this is it. COVID gave me the push of opening my own business.
Yes, a lot of people did quite a bit of reflection. We had a ton of people, thousands of people quitting their jobs during that time, especially service-oriented workers, because they were having that reflection of, is this really what I want to do? Is this how I want to spend my time?
Do I want to be a slave to someone else's business?
Yes. And then some people were also doing remote work for the first time and realizing, wow, this is really different. This feels really different. This works for me and my family.
Exactly. It's like, oh, COVID in that way opened my eyes.
Yeah, great.
So it was a combination of being a single mother. I was already divorced a few years already. It was like do my own work, like on my own values and my own strengths. You know, when you have to get out of a challenging marriage, it makes you work on yourself. It makes you really like what's your strengths, what you're good at, what you want to do next. It really also gives you like understanding that you cannot just rely on someone else to support you. Even if you have a wonderful marriage, you don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. Everyone should know what's going on in their finance. I was the accountant in the house. I always knew what was going on. I always knew about the financial. It's so important. Like everyone should know their financials. Everyone should know how to do banking, have an idea what it costs to live and all.
Absolutely. That's very important is to have that awareness of what your financial matters are, especially when you're in a relationship. Many entrepreneurs, as you suggested, struggle with financial overwhelm. What are some of the first steps you take to bring clarity with your clients?
Great question. They have to have clear financials. First of all, I open the business owners. A lot of them don't have any idea about their financials, don't understand it, don't know if they're leaking money, don't know what products are making money, don't know how to price. Number two is you have to have clean financials. You have to have clean financials in order to make business decisions. You have to have clean financials for compliance. I spoke to a business owner. He had a bookkeeper. She was doing such messy books. He couldn't file sales tax return. Then you get letters from the State Department of Taxation, and it could be really vicious cycle. How you file income tax returns if you don't have clean books. And don't say, oh, I'll just rely on my accountant, because A, it's much harder. B, you can't make financial decisions in your business if you don't have clean financials. If you don't have clean books and your accountant just uses what, you could be paying way more sales tax than you really owed that you collected. If you don't have clean financials and a business is going down and you're relying on credit card debt, I saw this in a business. For 2, 3 years till he hired me, he wasn't doing well. And then once I came in, I turned around the business, but then he's still paying accounts payable from when he wasn't doing well. He still owed income taxes because he didn't file income taxes. His financial was so messy. So he had fear. If you let fear rule you, IRS doesn't go away and you're not going to file it, then you're going to owe more taxes and penalties. And then we closed the year 2024 and I said, look, you made 300,000 net profit. This is why we're paying so much income tax. Besides that, you should be putting money aside every month. He said, but I didn't take home that 300,000. But that's what you pay income tax on. Yes, a lot of it went to go pay back old loans, old accounts payable. He owes some money from previous years. So it's not just what you have in the bank, it's what you make. And the longer you wait to get your books in order, the more problems you'll have. It'll take you longer to get out of it and take home money to your pocket.
That's some great guidance. I know you talked about clients really not understanding how to set a price. I get that a lot.
That's a huge issue.
How do I set a price? How do I do this? What's my value? What's the standard of what I'm doing out there that other practitioners do or other coaches or other whatevers do?
Yeah, so pricing is so important. I talk about we work on profit margins. You have to know what your profit margin is. Your direct profit margin means the direct cost of the sales minus the revenue, the sales, whatever you want to call it, minus direct cost, direct labor, get to your gross profit margin. But then there's overhead, there's rent, there's utilities, administration, payroll, insurance. There's all these wonderful expenses. And then you get the net profit margin. Now, once you know the net profit margin, you have to price accordingly. A lot of businesses think they're pricing right. But from my experience and from when I go speak to business owners and my clients, they don't know how to price. And if you don't know how to price, you're just going to be spinning the wheels and not making money.
Right.
So there's cash flow, it's a big issue, and there's profit margin. I love a quote. Revenue is vanity. Profit is sanity. And cash flow is reality. And it's so true. You need the sales. Yes, you need the vanity, but even more, you need the sanity. And then you also need the reality. Because if you don't have good processes, and then you're not going to have the cash flow. If you pay your vendors, for example, right away, I worked with a business, they gave 60 days for customers to pay the bills. That's going to kill your cash flow.
Absolutely. Well, this is all incredible guidance. I love it that you took an issue like pricing and really broke that down for people because I think we get so overwhelmed as business owners, just something as simple as pricing can really impact our business.
It's huge.
Huge.
I give them pricing tool. I explain it. Then not only do we go pricing, but when I work with clients, we go check on different projects to see what was our profit margin at the end. Did we make the target profit margin? It's not just a one-time thing. If yes, great. If not, what went wrong? Is it the 4 P's? Is it the people, your customers or your employees? Is it processes? Is it the product? And really see what we have to change to go better and what went well, what we could build on.
Those 4 Ps are so important. In this short amount of time, we have covered so much from your journey to how you help people, not just from pricing, but that includes, as you said, profit, product, like all of it. Those 4 Ps are awesome.
And another big one that I'm big believer is accountability. Accounting could stand for accountability. You have to put processes, put everything in place, and make sure that it happens. Accountability. My grandmother, to tie back, she wasn't big on words, but she was big on action. It has to be followed through.
Yes. Thank you so much. As we come to the close of this interview, my last question is, what advice would you give to someone who could use a bit of courage and inspiration to start over in their professional journey?
Don't get crippled from your mistakes. Learn from the mistakes, how to improve, and go forward. Don't give up.
Great guidance. Thank you, Ahuva, for joining me on the Core Women podcast.
Thank you for having me on the podcast. It was great.
Thank you. You can follow Ahuva Gruen on LinkedIn and at www.agfinancialcpa.com.
Thank you for joining us on the Core Women podcast with Dr. Summer Watson. We're so glad you're here and would love to connect more with you. Find us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Core Women and on Twitter at Core Women 1. For more about Core Women and Dr. Watson, visit corewomen.com. Want more support and resources for amazing women like you? Great! Join Dr. Watson and Jen Fontanilla at the Life, Love, and Money Collective, a Core Women production that aids in understanding the key traits that might be getting in the way of living a life that you are absolutely passionate about. Connect with Summer and Jen and find out more at thelifeloveandmoney.com.